Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Perfect Talk with Dr. Shami. It is that exciting moment where we are talking everything agriculture. Let me just remind you again that, in this platform, we bridge the knowledge gap by bringing knowledgeable people who have made it in the agricultural sector to share their experiences and share their information and, inspire, others. Remember, PERFECT stands for Policies, Education, Research. I'm sure you can recite it by now. Farming and Finance, Extension and Advisory Services, Communications, and the issues of, trade and technologies. Today, I'm bringing you yet another exciting guest, and we are talking perfect research. I know some of you were like, okay, what can I do, in the research sector and all that. And today I'm bringing you a young gentleman who is making his mark in the agricultural sector through the research pathway. Ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you Lavhelesani Managa. He's a researcher and he will tell us all about what he does. Lavhelesani, welcome to the
Yes,
Perfect Talk. Who are you?
thank you.
Yes, who are you?
Yes, yes, thank you, Dr. Hlami.
Mhm,
By the name Lavhelesani Rodney Managa,
mhm.
I reside here in South Africa, and then I was born in Limpopo and
Okay,
raised there,
yes.
and that's where I also see my first tertiary education at University of Venda.
Okay.
Before I've moved to Gauteng,
And what
where I
did you
also
study? What did you study at the
yes
University of
I
Venda?
at University of Venda, yes, I studied agriculture. So
Okay,
the agriculture was something which I just started from the high school.
yes,
I studied agriculture. I went to the university. I didn't have too thought, and
yes.
then I studied it. I also obtained my honors at University of Venda as
Okay,
well. And then before I moved this side,
yes,
where I find myself working placed at ARC, Agricultural Research Council.
Agricultural Research Council. Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, yeah. So, and then when I was at ARC, was working as a graduate candidate where I've obtained my master's while
Okay,
I was at ARC. Yes.
okay. You have a master's in what?
Yeah, I have master's in agriculture, specializing in crop improvement or plant
Oh,
breeding.
okay.
So
Plant
yeah,
breeding.
my focus has been on crop. So I
Okay.
studied crop like agronomy and plant production from undergraduate. On
Yes.
honors, that's where I have looked at plant breeding. My honors was
Okay.
focused on plant breeding, where I look at the improvement of soya bean
Okay.
when I
Yeah.
was still at university. Yeah, and on my
Okay.
master's, and then I've worked with the potato. So I
Ah,
was working on potato project at ARC, which
yes.
I've built it for my master's studies, which I
Yeah.
was registered at UNISA.
Okay.
Yeah, during that time. Yeah.
Okay. So Labe, in this platform, one of the things that I stand for is to demystify that if you want to work in the agricultural sector, you have to be a farmer. So we are trying to bridge this knowledge gap to say, you don't necessarily have to be a farmer to play a role in the agricultural sector. And what I'm hearing from you had agriculture as your career of choice from high school and university, but your interest was not necessarily in farming, but you wanted to pursue a career as a researcher. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Yes, and then you studied and you did your masters, and now you are working, as plant breeder. No?
Not necessarily as a plant breeder, because you know where I'm working now. We
Yes.
are in the we are in the environment where it's multidisciplinary.
And where are you
So
working now?
yeah, now I'm working at the Human Sciences Research Council. So
Okay.
yes, so here that's where we our work is more to do with the like the impact that the agricultural development and research is doing to people.
Okay.
So we work with the partners, although
Yes.
yeah, you still have to, like myself, like my background is more on natural science,
I
but
see.
I'm on the social science space, which is very interesting, though. So yeah, which is very interesting. So now you get to work now to put what you have learned in the lab and in the
Yes.
field
Yes.
into practice now, to see
Exactly.
how it fits in into development, because all this work that we have to do, it has to fit in into development
Yes.
for people, and also for policy as
Yes.
well. How do
Yes.
we our work provide evidence for
For
policy
policy.
formulation and yeah.
Okay. So what that is a space that is very interesting for me because I also come from the social, science and all that. So what I'm understanding is that you don't only, do research, but you also have to put it into use. You are providing evidence that influences, policy decisions and other decision making in the development space. That is a very,
Exactly.
very important role.
Yes, 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 exactly. So,
Okay.
and then though, like when I joined my current space, I
Yes.
was just from the ARC,
Yes.
where we day long we will be in the lab, in the field,
Yes.
less interaction with the with
With
people
people.
and
Yes.
and the meetings and so on. So, and
Okay.
then when I joined in, and then I find it very interesting, something to have looked at. Yeah.
Okay. I worked a lot with, your natural scientists and all that, or
Mm.
what I call the hardcore scientists.
Yes,
And now
yes.
that you have to work not only with plants, but also with people, did you find not challenging, did you find it, that you have to develop new skills, like communication skills that are different from your communication skills as a researcher?
Yes, what you've mentioned is very important.
Mm.
Also, with just not only in this space of social science, communication skills, also because I've also worked in the farm
Okay.
where I was a research assistant or
Mm.
a technician per se. So you would have you will have other assistants and the farm workers. So whatever you do, and then you need to have those communication skills where you can coordinate the
Yes.
work, because in research in agriculture,
Hmm.
it's something that also it require a proper coordination,
Yes.
because when you are a proper coordination, so you there have to be a clear way of how people are doing carrying out their activities. So you build it from there. Although when I now join here, I found that this is more demanding skill that you need to have,
It's a
because not
cross cutting.
necessarily that, yeah,
Hmm.
not necessarily that people that you are engaging with, they
Hmm.
understand what you learned from high school per
Yes.
se,
Yes.
or they understand things by the terminology you use. So now you have to like now put things into perspective and also make them
Yes.
understand that what you have did
Mm.
actually have a meaning to the
Yes.
society, because people, when they see what you've written,
Mm.
especially in a scholarly,
Yeah.
they may not see that importance of that
I
importance of that.
know.
Yeah.
In my previous session, I had, a young lady from Kenya who started as a journalist, but now for over 15 years, she's actually working with researchers and really helping them to communicate what they do in the manner that makes sense, to
Mm,
people who are not coming from the research, fraternity. Okay, I
mm.
wanna I wanna share, some more pictures here. Okay, I picked, this picture. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit. What were you doing here? Where were you and
Yes.
what were you doing?
Yeah, it was long ago, although I don't look changed much. So it
Yes.
was 2012. So
Okay.
I was at the Roots Biology Lab at
Uh-huh.
Modimule. So the
Yes.
lab was owned by the Pennsylvania State University, the
Yes.
university at United States. So they
Yes.
have a lab. So I joined them as a
Yes.
research assistant. And what
Yes.
we were doing here, we were studying roots.
Okay.
So, when we talk about plants,
Yes.
when we talk about plants, people
Yeah.
just see plants giving you fruits and then these leaves that you
Yes.
consume, but they
Yes.
don't understand the work that the roots has to do. Like when
Yes.
you see the plants,
Yes.
everything is depending on the roots. So we're studying
Yes.
the roots and
Yes.
how they support the plants and how
I
they differ
see.
as well, and how they in terms of acquiring resources in the soil like
Wow.
water and the
Exactly.
fertilizer, because they're different, these
Yes.
roots, and they also have specific characters
Yes.
that they can be selected and then improved, and they
Wow.
also improve the plant as a whole.
So, so,
So
so,
I
so
was
pro-
scanning the roots there.
okay, so probably this is what you focus more, especially when you do your plant breeding, and as you say that crop improvement, because you don't
Yeah,
just improve the crop from just watering or giving it fertilizer. You also need to
mm,
know the type of roots and all that. Wow, this is very, very, very exciting.
yes,
Laban, when I talk to people, especially when I talk about agricultural research, I always tell them that people need to understand that every crop presents a research opportunity, because how you study potatoes will be different from how you study maize, for example. Is that correct?
correct, 100% correct. Actually, there is a lot of opportunities in this farming or agriculture. Everything that you see,
Mhm.
and not only the crop specifically, also when you see crop after it has being harvested as well, it's another
Yes.
opportunity.
Okay.
So every crop has its own opportunity, and that's why we have some institute that you will find that it's a single institute or research program just focusing on one crop. So they
Yes.
will be developing from the seeds and then the products, I mean, like the content of the crop itself,
Yes.
and their nutrients, and then there is a lot that you can
Okay.
do.
That is very interesting. So, so now you are not doing the roots anymore. You are doing something here. What was it? What are you doing here?
Yeah, yes. This is very interesting. I happened to have to travel to Tanzania. This was Tanzania.
Oh, okay.
So in 2017. So I was, although I was not doing the work that was necessarily with the crops.
Yes.
So, and then, but I traveled with someone. We went to the villages. So when we
Yes.
went to the villages, I got to see that, oh, yeah, there are some small holding
Yes.
schemes. So it excites me a lot. And when I see the kind of production they are doing, that
Yes.
this is a more of organic agriculture. You see
Ah, okay.
people growing this was these are cowpeas, and they also,
Yes.
if you check in the background, they were also some other crops. So they were practicing what we call intercropping. So I said, oh,
Yes.
so this is a more indigenous way of farming, but it has a lot of science inside it
Inside.
that we have
Okay.
studied. So it was
Wow.
interesting. Yeah,
So,
it was
so I mean,
interesting.
our smallholder farmers here can also learn a lot from what is happening in other African countries. Is that true?
Yes,
And
yes,
vice
they can.
versa.
They can.
And vice
The
versa.
vice versa. Yes, yes.
Okay. So when I met you the first time, funny enough, we are all in Pretoria. We had never met. And there we are meeting in Accra at FARA, the Forum for Agriculture Research in Africa. That's where I met you the first time. Where are you here in the picture? I can see
Yeah,
myself.
yeah.
I can see
Yeah, I
myself
can
here.
also see myself when you're coming back
Where?
next to
Where?
and
On
then
the
I'm
right or on
somewhere
the
there
left?
on your left. Yeah, you
Okay.
can just count one, two, three, four, three, four. So there's someone with a hand that
There here.
on your line, and on your line when you go down there.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can just count. Um,
Okay. Anyway, it doesn't
yeah.
matter. But
So, but yeah, yeah, that's
yes,
better.
this was very
Yeah.
exciting because I was invited by Farah to come and facilitate, this meeting with young entrepreneurs and, researchers from all over the continent. And as people were introducing themselves, there was this young man saying, "I'm from South Africa. What were you doing here?"
Yes, thank you very much, and yeah, for bringing bringing up this. I would like to start by saying my work since I was at school. I've been trying to do comparative work with that cover the continent, because
Yes,
it was important for me when I joined agriculture. Also, some of my advisors or the people who have trained me in this field, and they
yes,
also coming from other African countries. So I
yes,
wanted to actually know what the other countries have been doing, and then that's why I learned about like the African agricultural or food system as a whole. So that's where you
okay,
would understand a lot of dynamics that are here in the agriculture space. And it was
okay,
close to my heart was that agriculture, we know where it stands, especially in sub-Saharan Africa. That when I
yes,
was still at school, we still read, they will say agricultural productivity in sub-Saharan Africa, it was
yes,
low. So
yes,
that's where I started to build to see why is it low, and then what can we do. And then when
yes,
I look at the research, was one of the things that I see that this can be something that can transform the continent agricultural sector. So I've been
yes.
following the trends, what is happening with the
Outside the borders of South
agriculture
Africa.
outside the border of South
Yes,
Africa.
yes.
And be lucky enough, the institute which I've joined now, it
Hmm.
also we do research that to do something with the continent in Africa.
I
So
see.
within the HSRC, our program is
Yes.
specifically one that deals with the issues on the continent as well. So and then the opportunity came as an essay. So they
Okay.
requested that people should write an essay, write
Yes.
your story of
Yes.
engagement in agriculture, and then you
Yes.
can be selected. Yeah, and
The,
then I, yes,
yes, I
and then that's
remember.
our enter.
Yes, I remember because as I was facilitating, that event, I've learned a lot from, your competitors, if I were to put it that
Yes.
way, that were coming
Mm,
from other different countries. And just for you to know that Africa has a lot of youth, but you were selected. That means a
mm,
lot because you were one of the few people that were selected with others that were coming from Nigeria. I remember there was Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya,
mm.
Ghana, Cameroon, and all that. What did you learn from interacting with others from other countries?
Yes, actually, the first thing was to appreciate the opportunity which I've got then, because, like you said, then even from the competition that the essay that we have selected, it
Mm-hmm.
was not only us who submitted. We were selected among
Yes,
other people. So, and then for me, that aspect of dynamic in terms of how we do things here in our country and also other countries. It was very specific to learn from other for other use, and it was that event. It was good for because it was specifically about the youth, and
mm-hmm.
then because I've been also looking at the how the youth involve themselves into the agriculture and also
Yes,
some difficulties that are there, and I
yes,
see that there were a lot of opportunities, and the youth, if we come together,
yes,
some of these challenges we can conquer them together, and we can actually the future of African agriculture, it's on the youth hands.
yes.
So that was a demonstration from that event, and honestly speaking, it was very exciting, and activities and learning and a network even after the event.
Yes.
So it was a door opener for a lot of opportunities.
Okay. So I know we could sit, the whole day just for me to learn from you. As we are closing, this conversation, what advice can you give to young people who are listening? For example, maybe there might be a young person who's listening. This person is in high school somewhere and they don't see themselves working in the agricultural sector. What advice could you give them?
Yes, thank you for this opportunity because that's what I always stress to people that are close to me that actually in agriculture the way agriculture has been painted, like when you do your introduction you touch based on that there is a lot, actually everything. If you check agriculture from primary production to the food on the shelf, it involves all of the things that we might aspire to be.
Yes,
And just looking at the fields that are there, if you want engineering, if you want civil, everything is there. So the issue
even
is to get
finance.
to even finance. So and
Yes,
then the value chain is very broad. So and now if for young people I will tell them that there is also exciting opportunities that is coming with the technological revolution. So
yes,
you won't get bored if you want to toy with the drones. So agriculture is a space where you can able to use your drone the way you would like to. And
exactly.
then also everything you would have to, you just have to get the right information and
Yes,
also understand the focus, because
okay,
the focus is very broad. And
yes,
then the focus that you want to focus on, and also link up with the right people, right institution, get right information, because
yes,
what I've seen is that people will like to do things because of lack of the right information at the
exactly.
right time. Sometimes we get the information later.
Okay, so Laban, I know sometimes I get, invitations, from schools where they want a bit of, career guidance. Would you be available if there's an opportunity? Let's say we go to a school somewhere in Guyana or in the vendor area, just for you to share your experiences with the young minds there to inspire them. Would you be available to do that if one were to invite you?
Yes, thank you. Certainly, I will be available. That is something that, though I didn't mention, is something that I also enjoy a lot to
Yes,
engage and also share information as well. So, I'm also that person who's, although you said that I'm not a farmer, but I'm engaged a lot with even with the farmers. So
exactly.
farmers, they know that I'm their friends.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to miss the call from the farmer. So also with these young people as well, that will be a very good opportunity to
Okay.
build the next society.
And thank you very much for joining us. Believe me, I'll be knocking at your door again, just to say, hey, let us go. Let us, inspire people. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we had time for today. You have heard for yourself. You don't necessarily have to be a farmer. You can enter the space through the research, pathway, and you just need to get, the right information. We say knowledge is power. You know where to get me. You can subscribe and follow us on social media. We'll be bringing you more information here in the Perfect Talk with Dr. Sami.